on this whole drug legalization thing, I'm so past it, man. I went from undecided only about like a month ago. Like I was leaning, I was gathering more and more evidence. To now, I'm full-blown 100% legalize everything. This whole, oh no, we're going to win the war on drugs is so profoundly stupid. We're not going to win dick, okay? We're not going to win the war on drugs. People aren't going to stop magically taking drugs. And, the more I read, which is something that should have been profoundly obvious from the get-go, and I got it before, don't get me wrong, it's not like I'm blown away by it, but now it seems overwhelming to me. It's obviously just like Prohibition. And in Prohibition, we had out-of-control gangs. That's how the gangsters started in America. And then we do Prohibition on drugs, like marijuana, and we have out-of-control gangs. Well, not just in America now, all over the world. It's a stupid, stupid policy. Come on. So Carlos Santana is definitely right. And I'm not thrilled that Obama, minimized that. I know he's not going to tackle it in the beginning of his term. Like, what's he going to get into office and be like, yeah, we're legalizing dope? No way, right? So give him time. I'm not getting on Obama too much for it, right? But as far as the issue's concerned, I think at this point it's a no-brainer. And then, the reverse argument that people will give you is, no, you don't understand. Drugs are really bad for people. People get addicted. Oh, really? You don't say. Oh, I didn't know that. Of course they do! But you're not going to have less addicts by making it illegal. Mm-hmm. In fact, America has more addicts than countries that have it as legal, like Netherlands. We got to get beyond this, all right? Bring back Michael Phelps. Mm-hmm. All right, what's next?
But the Netherlands doesn't have... the only drug that's legal in the Netherlands is marijuana. You want to legalize everything.
That's
which
right.
I don't think is a good idea, but...
Back up.
Look,
Carlos and I will find you, man. We'll come with hats. Mm-hmm. Okay. No, why? Why? Go.
No. Look, first of all, the fact that marijuana is illegal is absurd because no one ever died from taking marijuana, okay? But people have died from taking alcohol. So why is alcohol legal and marijuana isn't? But then hard drugs like cocaine and, heroin and things like that, we can't make that accessible to people. We just can't.
We can and we should.
You're insane.
Because they're already
you're saying that we should have pharmacies, handing out heroin and things like that.
At street corners. Like, hey, get your heroin here, No, you sell it through very highly regulated government, run things.
Okay, highly regulated. Okay, so what is, what are the qualifications that you need to have to get a hold of heroin?
Nothing. You go in and you say, you fill out some paperwork or whatever, you do it legally, and you get it.
That's absurdity, though.
It's not. No, look. I'm glad you brought this up. Let's talk this through for a second, okay? So that blows people's minds because you think, like, well, we can't just be giving out heroin, right?
Well,
obviously you have to pay for it, right?
Why would the government want to administer heroin to people? Do you see what I'm saying?
I do.
Doesn't that make the government evil? I mean, the government's evil anyway, but like...
No. Listen. Okay. So, are we encouraging it? No. In fact, we would take the money from the drug use and spend it towards education. So let's say the government...
First of all, the money would not be spent toward education. I'm 100% sure of that.
No. You could write that into the legislation.
Okay.
So every nickel we get from the drug money, we put into drug education and rehabilitation.
It'll probably be spent on military.
Okay, well, look, okay. But no, we're spending so much on military now, trying to stop the war on drugs, or trying to win the war on drugs. So right now, it blows your mind because you think, oh no, but then it would be accessible to everybody. But let's say it was accessible right now, and the government's selling heroin. Would you go do it?
No, I wouldn't go do it.
Okay, neither would I. So how did anything change?
But if it's more accessible, I think people will be more apt to try it.
I don't think so. I think you got to go into a government building, ask a doctor, fill out forms. I mean, does that sound like this is a lot of fun? And then you have to do it there, okay? You can't go and distribute it somewhere else, and you can't go do it at the club. You have to do it there.
Okay, well, let's say it is legalized, but there are many, I guess, you have to go through a lot of different processes to get a hold of it, right?
Some.
People will go and do it illegally anyway.
Right. No, I don't think so, because they're going to think, hey, I can get it for $5 down the street. I fill out a couple of forms, right? Or I'm going to deal with this shady guy, and I don't know what he put in it, and it cost me $50. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm still not buying it, though. I still think it's a bad idea. Well, somebody else jump into this. I don't want to be the only... What do you think, JR? I mean, maybe you totally support what Cenk is saying.
Well, I guess the thing is first of all, I don't think it's going to make people do it more. But we already basically, as far as through government organizing or control, man, what are painkillers? What are all these, you know how many hard drugs are in a pill that people get when they get in a car accident? When they go to the dentist? After I finished my dental visit, they gave me, this was years ago, they gave me codeine and what's the other big one everybody likes to take? People always talk, oh, it's so fun, I'm going to take, whatever the painkiller, the big name.
Vicodin.
Vicodin. And it didn't really work on me. And I was waiting for this painkiller to kick in, and I ended up taking like 3 of them, and then it finally kicked in, and it felt like somebody had just like poured cold water on my head. That is some hardcore stuff, dude. So it's already there, really. It's just a matter of in what form and what kind of regulation they'll do it. Who knows how that'd be set up? Because you got people that are on it already. And people, I think, get on drugs when they're trying to, same way when people are alcoholics. It's just another form of numbing themselves.
Right,
I guess-
and remember this. Look, if Coke is available at parties and stuff because it's illicit, right?
Mm-hmm.
People are selling it there anyway. X at the clubs, etc. Right? That's a lot more likely to reel someone in than, hey, let's go down to the government building and get some X and take it there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I guess my main argument is there are medical uses for drugs like marijuana. There are medical uses for drugs like Vicodin. Are there medical uses for drugs like heroin?
Who cares? So we're going to have all these people die and have all these gangs and have all this criminality, etc., associated with it because it's not good for you? I know it's not good for you, but neither is cigarettes. Cigarettes do nothing but kill you.
Of course, yeah.
Okay? And we allow their sale all the time.
That's a good argument.
Okay, so, I mean, we sell guns. I mean, look at what happened today in New York, right? And then guns are designed to kill things. Okay, now I know there's self-defense, hunting, etc., but bullets go through people and kill them, right? And we sell that, but we can't sell cocaine.
Yeah, no, this is the hard part, though, is the fact that, which is actually was part of Carlos Santana's quote, not only legalize it, but decriminalize it, because that's the problem. Like, the day, say it happens, that things are legalized, that there probably would be a good amount of people that'd be like, oh, now I can try it, and it's not against the law anymore. I've always wondered what coke is like. You know, and
That'll last a month.
There'll be enough idiots to do that. And then the problem will be is when the time for people to chill. It's like a kid breaking into his parents' liquor cabinet, and they completely pour all this vodka and rum all down their mouth because they're like, oh, they're gone for a weekend, let's go. You know, and then maybe they calm down. Who knows? Or maybe they don't.
I agree completely. I think they'll calm down within a couple of months. And then, here, I'll say something, one more controversial thing, okay? I believe drug use will go down if you legalize it, right? But even if you told me drug use is going to go way up, I would still legalize it. Because the gangs are so much worse than the drug use. Okay? So I think that you're going to get a win-win if you legalize it. I honestly believe that. But even if you got a couple of more addicts or some 10% more, 20% more, 50% more, it's not worth these hideous gangs that have been created that are causing so much more crime and grief. That's my thoughts.